Domestic violence is the leading cause of injury to women as reported by the Domestic Violence Statistics website. The site continues to report that every 9 seconds, a woman within the U.S. is beaten. They have limited options and often seek refuge for themselves and children within shelters. This topic is of benefit to myself and you because within our local community, Corpus Christi houses a women's shelter that aids a population of multiple backgrounds. You can benefit in providing support to this shelter through many aspects including personal growth, networking, skill building, and health benefits. A call for volunteerism is much needed within the women's shelter of South Texas and therefore should be acted upon immediately in order to maintain and make available the nonprofit organization's grounds, upkeep, interior maintenance, child care, literacy and educational alternatives, transportation, and mentors. To gain a full understanding of the lack of volunteerism, we must first observe the statistics based on volunteers, the population of the women's shelter, and how to aid in the facility, as well as the overall personal benefits of providing services. According to the research provided by the onlinecollege.org website, last accessed on June 29, 2014, volunteer providers make up less than 26% of our nation's population. Women provide more volunteer services than men, and men and women in their early 20s were the least likely group to provide volunteer efforts at only 19.4%. Now, having understood the lack of volunteerism, it is important to understand the shelter as a whole and the population volunteers you'd be working with and around. The Women's Shelter of South Texas is run as a nonprofit organization to aid women and children seeking refuge. They offer many outlets for the women and yet are in need of necessity such as groundskeepers, housekeepers, provided transportation, literacy outlets, and child care and mentors. The women's shelter was opened in 1977. The shelter survives through donations and grant resources. The shelter has implemented different services over its years in business. Services are the Support Center, the Sexual Assault Intervention Program, a Batterers Intervention and Prevention Program, DV 101 to provide education on legal procedures, Turning Points Program to educate women in violence experience and violence used. The women's shelter is lacking in certain amenities that would help in daily life and growth. They lack transportation, career services, donations, volunteer services. Having the detailed understanding of the amenities the women's shelter provides allows us to move forward in the local community with what the local community can do to supplement the growth and maintenance of the facility. The solution to aiding the women's shelter is to provide your volunteer services, which can be done through several methods. Become a volunteer by following a few simple steps. Complete the online application and determine what area your interest is in. The second step is to complete the 20-hour training seminar, which helps you have an understanding of the population you will be encountering and the safety while interacting. The third step is to commit your time. You can commit as little or as much time as you would like. Donations are an important method of volunteering and would be a good solution for males who wish to aid in this population. Monetary donations benefit the shelter and providing supplies and resources to the women. Clothing donations benefit the shelter because most of the women leave their circumstances without anything. Having grasped the efforts that would be involved, the benefits that accompany a volunteer's efforts are very rewarding. There are many benefits to becoming a volunteer for an organization, especially within our age group. Volunteering provides increased health and wellness. According to the article, Community Service Top 10 Reasons to Volunteer, increased health opportunities are accumulated through lower stress levels and increases a person's optimism. Volunteers also save resources and gain professional qualities such as skill building, career testing, and resume building. According to the article, 12 Reasons Community Service Should Be Offered in Schools, last accessed on June 29th, reports that students become more valuable due to their team efforts and ability to follow instructions and problem-solving abilities. As stated by Kids Health Community Service, A Family's Guide to Getting Involved, an additional skill is time management. Scholarship opportunities can arise and also promotes overall learning of self, community, and government. Throughout our efforts of gaining a deep understanding of the volunteering need and the women's shelter, we examined the statistics reported, the population housed by the women's shelter, the methods in which to aid the shelter, and the overall personal gain.
Very good.